Okay, Great Binfields. Today we've got a story. It's one some of you know already, and it's from Wicked Tales 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. And it's called, well, you know the story called Goldilocks and the Three Bears, don't you? Yeah? What you may not know is that the bears don't like that story. The bears think it's a story for babies. And they've got their own version, which they call Mouldysocks and the Free Humans. And it's told by a bear. I'll do my best, and it goes like this. Once upon a time, there was 3 humans. Daddy human, mummy human, and stupid little baby human. Oh, by the way, I must tell you that bears are biased against humans because of all this pollution and such. He was so stupid that even though he was 2 years old, he could not climb to the top of a big pine tree, get honey out of a bee's nest, and climb down with one hand. Any 2-year-old bear could do that, upside down, blindfold, and backward. One morning, the 3 humans came downstairs for their breakfast, which was porridge again, because it was the only thing that Mummy Human knew how to make, and Daddy Human couldn't make anything. And they sat down to the table, and Daddy Human sat by his big bowl of porridge, and he picked up his big fork, because he was stupid. And Mummy Human picked up her big spoon, and Baby Human picked up his little spoon, and just then Daddy Human said, "Oh, I know, let's go for a walk before breakfast." And Mummy Human said, "Oh, what a good idea." And Baby Human looked sadly at his bowl of porridge and said, because that was all he ever said. He was 2 years old, he'd never said a word in his life. So the 3 humans put down their forks and their 2 spoons, and they went straight out the door, down the garden path to the gate, and Baby Human stopped at the gate and said, which means, "We forgot to put our boots on." And Daddy Human looked down and said, "Oh yes, no boots." And Mummy Human looked down and said, "Oh no." So they went back to the house, found their boots, put their boots on, they came outside and they went for their walk. Out the gate along the road, Baby Human stopped again and said, which means, "We put our boots on, but we didn't put our socks on." And Daddy Human looked down and said, "Oh yes." And Mummy Human looked down and said, "Oh no." So they went back to the house and they took their boots off because they didn't want to get the carpet dirty, went inside, found their socks, put their socks on, came outside, put their boots on, and finally they went for a walk. Out the gate, along the road, down the hill, to the middle of the village, and it was Sunday morning. And the 3 humans came down to the middle of the village, and they got to opposite the church, and all the people were just coming out of church, and they stopped there with everyone looking at them, and Baby Human went, which means, "We put our boots on, and we put our socks on, but we didn't put our clothes on." And Daddy Human looked down and said, "Oh yes, no clothes." And Mummy Human looked down and went, and the 3 humans turned around and ran all the way home. Got to the house, took their boots off, went inside, put their clothes on, came outside, and finally they went for a walk. They did not go down to the village this time. Mummy Human said she was never going to use the village shop again because everybody had just seen her naked. No, the 3 humans went for their walk in the woods. And when they got into the middle of the woods, Baby Human stopped again and went, which means, "We forgot to put our boots on again." And Mummy Human and Daddy Human both said, "Tough." Meanwhile, While the three women was having their walk in the woods, up to the door of the house came an intelligent and very handsome bear. They all are named Mouldysocks. And he knocked on the door. And there was no answer. And Mouldysocks knew that if you knock on someone's door and there's no answer, you don't do what Goldilocks did, do you? You don't open the door and go in. No, he climbed in through the window. Yeah.